You're listening to the Belmar Bites podcast, brought to you by Belmar Consulting. Okay, welcome.
Yeah, good to see you.
Here we are. It is, we're recording this and releasing on July 17th and episode number 5. So excited for this one. I think we've got a couple of interesting topics to cover on the pod today. And it's maybe just a quick recap. We're at episode 5. So 4, I would say, interesting conversations that we've had up to this point. And I think it's just now starting to, in my eyes at least, starting to kind of open up in terms of just the ideas that we've got for podcast topics. So why don't we kick off today with the kind of topic that's been on my mind a lot, and I know certainly probably on yours, and I would say many people around the world, and that is artificial intelligence and kind of what it's doing, at least what it's forecasted to do in the workplace. And a couple of articles that I was reading this week, just talking about the impact, I would say certainly in a negative way for individuals that worked at companies like Salesforce and Microsoft as they continue to really rely on AI to help drive their business forward. And so I guess in your perspective, there's a few things we can drill down on, but just maybe
Mhm.
before we do, give me your thoughts in terms of what you're seeing, kind of what you're hearing from, your friends and colleagues, and kind of what do people think about this, and kind of what the direction that we're going.
Well, Scott, it's a loaded question, and I know we introduced ourselves in the first couple episodes, but this is the first call of the day for me. This is the first recording of the day, so you're getting my morning thoughts on AI, the most fun topic. But you know what? The reason why I say it's loaded is that we've not seen a revolution like this. This is a pretty monumental revolution. The AI revolution, and being compared to the industrial revolution, compared to the development of electricity. And I think the reality is there's a lot of fear about AI, but there's at the same time a ton of excitement. Just the other day, I was reading a article that, and maybe you saw this, Scott. Meta had hired, Zuck had hired somebody from OpenAI for $100 million. Did you see that? Did you see that article?
Yeah, I
Did you hear
actually
that?
I saw some clips. I think he was on a podcast. If I'm understanding it correctly, his brother hosts a podcast, and he was on, and
Hmm.
I had heard him say that they've had some pretty key people on their team at OpenAI get recruited, and my understanding is a signing bonus, not the compensation, but just the signing bonus alone was in excess of 100 million. So at the time he said that, I believe he said they hadn't lost anybody at that point, but boy, you dangle a big enough carrot, I'm sure somebody's going to jump.
I think the timing is, and I'll tie it all back to AI shortly, but I mean, it's a revolution in that you're seeing signing bonuses this size. I mean, this mirrors that of NBA signings or NHL, or maybe not NHL, maybe more MLB. I'm a big sports guy, and recently it's been the free agency, and you've just been seeing big money being spent around. But now you're seeing a big money being spent on AI researchers, which is perhaps one of the biggest opportunities here, is that there's so much unknown right now
Hmm.
as it pertains to career opportunity, job market, new app development, new use case development. There's no clear-cut winner quite yet. So I'll start with the opportunities first. There's a lot of opportunities for be it small businesses, startups, people who want to cut their teeth on AI. It's anybody can go and develop the next greatest thing as it pertains to AI, because these tools, I mean, it's fair use. Anybody can use these models as well. So I think that's one of the exciting parts, is that there's no clear-cut winner right now. Anybody can kind of be the next big thing, and I think that's why you're seeing so much investment. On the flip side to that, how does it impact people and employees? And I mean, inevitably, you referenced in the news, you see uh, such and such company lays off X amount of people, and I think again, it's a pretty loaded question, in that there's certainly the increase in productivity, You're getting be able to do more with less with
Mhm.
artificial
Yeah.
intelligence. And I think that is similar to the revolution aspect. That is not something that will be optional going forward. It is something that will be a must-have going forward, is the utilization or usage of AI in the day-to-day. Because why not? Why would you not use that kind of suite of tools that increases your productivity? For the employee side or the individual side, I think it inevitably there will be a rebalance of work. You're going to see perhaps lower skilled work or more repetitive or administrative work transition to higher skilled work. And very similar to when things went to the cloud, things went digital, there's going to be a necessary change, a necessary upskill to the workforce as well. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't think
let
it's
me
all.
let me just jump in even on that in terms of that kind of the need for retooling or reskilling. I think that's an absolute given. If you're in a large tech company right now, let's pick a Meta, Google, Salesforce, fill in the blank, with other technology company name. But if you're in that kind of middle tier, middle management, man, oh man, like that to me would be a really risky spot to be in. So certainly retooling and kind of preparing for uh, the impact that AI is going to have, not only on your career, but the impact it's going to have, on your family, and just getting yourself ready for that. Um, I think the flip side of that too is, it's interesting. Just in the last week, I had dinner with a woman that I met, and she's a little further along in her career than I am, but she's founded and sold a couple of companies over the years in technology. So she's a technologist, and she's working right now on an AI startup. And this thing is really targeted at the sales organization within large enterprise companies. And it was a very interesting couple of statements she made. First one was, uh, for decades, the engineers, so i.e., software company engineers, have
Yeah.
had total control, and that's changed. She's like, I'm a technologist, but I'm not a software developer. I'm a sales slash business executive, and I can now build, and we have our product within a couple of target companies right now. It's an MVP, and they're just trial basis. But like she's commenting, like it's me and a couple of other people, and we're going to go and build a 50 to $100 million company with 6 employees. And it's just like, that's absolutely insane. And so the other statement she made was just the ability to go and do it and take back control, which is, again, not for everybody. It's certain individuals that are
Mhm.
going to really benefit from this, but it's totally doable now to go and start a company
Mhm.
without the full complement of skill set, sales, product team, marketing, all the different roles. Like there's just so much that can be done with a small team. And one of the questions that she was asking me was, what do you use for your accounting software? Which, unrelated to kind of uh, our expertise, but certainly within our business, we use accounting software. And I told her the brand that we use, and she's like, legacy tool. Like, why aren't you using an AI tool? She said, I only want AI software within my business. And so I walked away from that dinner thinking, man, like this is incredible what's going on.
Mhm.
And it's uh the opportunity is right here right now, and it's very exciting, but it's also very, I think, for maybe transition this into talking about even our business or that of our
Yeah.
customers. I think there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anxiety around, what do I do? Uh, how do I actually go about doing this? That's a really important discussion, because it's one thing to hear about
Yeah.
Salesforce, and Mark Benioff recently said 30 to 50% of their the work being done in the company today is now being done by AI. I mean, what does that even mean? Like, how do you actually quantify what that looks like day to day? And if I was to take that statement and bring that into our organization or bring that into one of our customers, like, hey, 30 to 50% of our work that gets done every day is being done by AI. Well, what does that look like? And more importantly, how do I actually go and accomplish that? Like, what do I do? What tools do I need to go and do
Mhm.
that? So, uh, I'd be interested in your perspective on that. Let's drill down on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tie it back to a story. I met maybe about a year and a half ago, and this is when AI was it's been around. Let's just call a fact a fact. AI's been around. It's just it's really caught wildfire over the last couple of years through the development of chat-based interfaces that I mean, look at the widespread use of something like a ChatGPT, or even its integration in tools like Gmail, as an example. Gemini, Google's doing a fantastic job at integrating that in. So it's been around, and I was chatting with a CDO, a Chief Development Officer. So she was managing a portfolio of major donors, and this is one of our nonprofit clients, major donors, and there was big fear, and this is a large 50, $60 million organization, foundation, that she had a lot of fear about, um, well, if I give AI this, if I enable AI to take over this aspect, well, then we lose out the entire personal experience side of major donations. And for the audience listening, major donations being high net worth individuals who are donating large sums of money, be it one time or on an ongoing basis to a nonprofit organization. In this case, there was a pretty significant portion of that. So at this dinner I was having with her, she shared a lot of fear. We don't want to lose the personal, the experience side of this as well. At the same time, they knew that they had to do it because they looked to their left, they looked to their right, and all of these other organizations were using AI, or at least putting their hand up saying that they're using AI. So when I hear things like, well, we're doing 30 to 50% of the work, I think of it as, let's just use a pie analogy. You got 100% of your 100% of this pie is 100% of your time. I think it's 30, 50%. You actually stack and increase the size of this pie, that enables further capacity.
Yeah.
And I think that there's often fear, well, we're going to replace a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the counter argument to that is, well, maybe this is a job you probably wouldn't have hired out to begin with. If it's able to increase productivity by 10%, 20%, and in this case, major donors, if they were able to start an appeal or solicitation 60% of the way with AI, well, imagine how much more time they could spend in person, experientially, with their major donors
Right.
versus
Yeah.
sitting in front of a notepad, writing out. And oftentimes, a lot of that interaction happens in text. But imagine if you could, based off of AI or leveraging AI, suggest, okay, you haven't talked to this person in quite a while. These are the things that you've done in the past. Here's a recommendation. You don't have to take it, but that's kind of my counter to the uh, versus not replacement, augmentation, and increasing that cap of pie size,
Sure.
if you will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an interesting way to think about it because I think for most, uh, the default setting is this is going to encroach on me. This is going to encroach on sort of my ability as an individual within an organization. And I mean, there's all sorts of clickbait out there that suggests, and I guess would reinforce that type of thinking. When we think about universal basic income and what are all these people going to do? And, you need meaning in life to live a highly productive life, which, I totally agree with that statement. And if AI is going to replace me, well, where's my place in this? But, your summary, I think, is an interesting way to think about it, and certainly is supported by the way some others are thinking about that
Mhm.
that exact thing, and that it's if we think about say the overall GDP of a country or even an organization, like what is your
Yeah.
capacity, what is your ability, and if we use that term GDP within a business, could that be increased by 10, 20, 30% versus cutting. And so I think that's a really exciting way to think about that. And I think that's actually an interesting segue into just even talking about, what we're calling internally at Belmar, just accelerators, and these aren't
Yeah.
accelerators that we're out, selling and attaching to uh, an implementation of Salesforce. These are more just accelerators or levers that we're pulling internally within our organization to expedite or to create more efficiency within the org. And I know that we've talked about these a lot, and we're certainly we're implementing and are now maybe better said executing on many of these and seeing real productivity gains as a result of it. So further supporting your idea here, which is the net of AI, hopefully will be more productivity with the same
Mhm.
unit of measure. So
Yeah, unpack that a bit in terms of what are some of those accelerators for us and how have they impacted or how will they impact our customers?
so a couple that are like real low hanging fruit things that we're using today, almost every day, is content generation. So content generation in many aspects is just the ability to produce a piece of copy or produce a piece of content that needs to get a message out. Be that an email that we're sending out to a group of contacts, an individual message that we're sending, or even if it's documentation of some type that we're assembling for a customer as part of a project. It's just so easy now to use a prompt and put in your ideas. And maybe some of that is long form. In my case, I tend to think better when I'm writing out a little more long form than just bulleted prompts. But taking ideas and uh, I've kind of camped now on Google Gemini, just in part because it's built so well into the Google stack, and we use that. So I will often have multiple Gemini tabs open that I'm sort of dropping ideas into, and it's helping me
Mm.
in some cases just to produce an idea, to refine an idea, or to just edit copy that I've written. So certainly seeing a huge benefit when it comes to content creation, training, and documentation. I don't know, Matt, if you've had any experience using any of these tools to help support in that, but give me your thoughts on what we're doing today around training.
Yeah, and I think it's myself, I think it's the team integrating AI into the day-to-day to increase, be it productivity, but ultimately, I think of the same kind of tagline I've shared of why use Salesforce, to a lot of folks. It reduces the admin time that you have to spend typing things out, increases the amount of time that you can sell. In the case of AI, it reduces the amount of stuff that you have to do that is just trying to fill out a blank page and increases the amount of time that you can spend in front of customers, building relationships, building experience. And as it pertains to training, I mean, I don't know many people who get out of bed in the morning and get super thrilled about writing out training documentation. Maybe our team. I won't rob them that, but training documentation. In many cases, there is a lot of similarities between the baseline of training documentation. So if we can get 50, 60% of the way there, well, we can spend the time that was allotted or the time that a client has uh, enabled us to go after and do this to further enrich that training, be it through videos, be it through walking them through different elements, be it through step-by-step guides, be it through all of these different other things or different ways to interact with that said training. Again, on the flip side of training, just as equally as exciting as it is to write training documentation, think about somebody who's got this new brand spanking new system that they are having to use, and they're just combing through training documentation. I mean, I'd need 10 cups of coffee to comb through training
Yeah,
documentation.
for
Think
sure.
about if I have 50% of my mental space more to think about how I can deliver that said training in a different way through interactive activities, through interaction, through gamifying it. Well, I mean, then we're able to equate that to higher levels of adoption of that said system. So I think that's a big core piece of where AI can be used is getting to that baseline. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've heard the phrase writer's block or I guess
Hmm.
author's block, where you just get stuck getting those initial ideas, but you know what you want to say, but you don't know how to get it on paper. I mean, I personally, in my day to day, I probably use ChatGPT at least 10 times a day. Um, and not so much to give me ideas, but it is truly a secondary sounding board too, in many cases, of just, okay, these are the ideas I got. Synthesize this for me. So I think training manuals, documentation, it helps you get to that baseline to spend more time on the experience side as well, which maybe just to kind of wrap up this AI topic, Scott, I saw in here, you put Scott's AI antidote. So what
Yeah.
would you share with somebody who's maybe thinking, should I be scared? Should I be excited about AI and be it our customers? What is Scott's AI antidote?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is an idea that I've been thinking about because, again, just to kind of frame the work that we do. I mean, we get invited into organizations to help them implement a technology-based solution, in this case, Salesforce. Uh, and it's often, touching, many aspects of their organization. And this is, in most cases, it's a pretty significant transformation that's happening within the organization. And so,
Mhm.
sort of, while all that's going on, now we have this new paradigm here of AI, and so I'm putting myself in the shoes of a CEO or an executive director or a senior VP within an organization, and I'm thinking about how do I address this? Like, and I think we covered this maybe on one of the previous pods. It's just this sort of kind of accept that everybody in our business today is using AI,
Mhm.
and we don't have official policies around use it this way, don't use it that way. Um, but I'm thinking about how does an organization kind of get from this, maybe a position of uncertainty, angst. They want to be very careful. They can't, to your earlier comment about interacting with donors. Like there's real sensitivity to how
Yeah.
this technology gets adopted. So maybe rather than looking at it as well, how on earth are we going to do this? What do we need to do? Let's put a framework together. And this is something that I've been noodling on for a little while now. So, couple points here. One is develop a digital strategy. So, just having a strategy, having a blueprint that you can work with, is going to sort of bring some uh, clarity to the task at hand. So that's the first thing. So develop a digital strategy. Number two is invest in technology and skills. That's probably goes without saying. You need to continue to make investment, but better said, make your investment aligned to your strategy. So get your strategy locked and then make investment against that strategy versus being reactive, hearing what others are doing and jumping to, try different things. And nothing wrong with, trying and failing fast, if you will, breaking things
Yeah.
just to prove out ideas. But certainly in large categories of the business or the organization, you can't just go and break things. So number one, develop a strategy. Two is make an investment that's aligned to that. Three is foster a culture of innovation. So enable your people to bring ideas forward, uh, and prioritize those against the strategy, and then show execution, demonstrate to the team that the organization will execute against these ideas. I mean, one example, if our team that is working with customers directly implementing a solution, I mean, they're hearing things from those customers that I or you or others on our team would not ever hear, just because they're in that environment, they're in that meeting, they're in that
Right.
conversation. So enable the team that's hearing these ideas or hearing feedback and coming up with ideas to bubble those ideas up to the surface, and you make a commitment to foster that. Number four on the list here, I guess, is leveraging partnerships. Going at this alone is interesting, daunting, scary for some. Certainly, if you don't have a background in technology, how are you to navigate this on your own? So, creating a partnership or a collaboration with others who are in the same boat trying to accomplish the same thing. So, maybe that's, an industry group that you participate in. Maybe you create and you bring others from your community into that. That certainly is an idea. And then lastly is just monitor and evaluate the impact. So, try things, implement, measure it, see what impact it's having, and start with the kind of that lowest hanging fruit, the things that you can go and win quickly with and see value, but are also not putting the organization at any form of risk. So this is an evolving idea that I've got, and one that we're talking to customers about. And
Yeah.
so if anybody is interested in having that discussion, reach out. Let's have that conversation.
I love it. I love that, especially that last part. You don't have to go do this alone. There's, for those who are scared of AI, the reality is there's a lot of other folks like you as
Yeah,
well, and
for sure.
you don't have to go figure this out. I'm actually quite certain that nobody's figured this out quite yet, so you don't have to go cut your teeth on this yourself. There's a lot of others that have tried and failed. Let's learn together, and I think as it impacts our clients, you're not alone. Like, you can go and tap those who have tried these things before. So I love the framework, Scott, and I see we got a special shout out. Do you wanna share the special
Yeah,
shout out?
yeah. It's we have for many years. Actually, it's 5 years. Just about 5 years now. We've had a really special partnership with an organization that's based in Vancouver, Canada. So the west coast of Canada. They're called Ally Global. They are an organization that their mission is to go and eradicate human trafficking and support those that have found
Mhm,
themselves a victim, I guess, to that to what's going on out there. And so we've been partnered with Ally now for 5 years. We've just, I guess, we're announcing that another year partnership, and for us, what that looks like is really just supporting them as an organization. They have an annual event called their Move for Freedom. It used to be a 1 day event. It's now a multi-day event. It really is just designed to get out and get active and do
mhm,
something sort of with your community. So we've done events in the past as a company. We've hosted tournaments. I think we did spike ball, then we did pickleball, and we've done just other activities as a company to get out and move and to be together. Really, the objective is to raise awareness and ultimately raise some money to help support the organization. So excited to
mhm.
announce again we're doing that. And and so if you want to learn more, you can go to our website. We've got some info there, and yeah, we'd love for you to learn more about Ally Global and get involved in their mission.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, that's a great way to wrap, and certainly a deserved shout out to Randy and the team at Ally. So maybe with that, Scott, great episode. We'll catch you on the next pod. We'll
Hey,
talk to you
Matt,
soon.
thanks for doing this.
All right. See ya.
This has been another episode of Belmar Bites, brought to you by Belmar Consulting. You can follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or on our website at belmarcloud.com.